channel for a live stream. Looking a bit rough and unshaven today. Well, look at that. 2 likes already and I haven't done anything. That's fantastic. You've set the bar. I'll do nothing and I'll get likes anyway. 4 people are there. Who are you? You know the drill. Can you hear me is my next question, because until someone responds, I don't know. Ellen, can you have a little look-see? Can you hear me? Dun, dun, dun. How are we all? What's the word on the street? I'm just going to lean out a camera shot while I pop a snooze in, because no one wants to see that. Evening all, can hear you fine. It is the plastered finger, is Billy. How the devil are you, mate? Thanks again for sending the old, don't know whether to keep it a surprise or not. You know what I'm talking about. Hasn't arrived yet, Bill, which is not surprising because you said a week. But that LBC tracking number doesn't work. So I don't know. I'm sure it's not going to be a problem. I'm sure it'll arrive. I think the last couple of times I've used LBC to order stuff, the tracking numbers never seem to work. I thought it was my computer, but I got Ellen to check it today and it didn't work for her either. So there you go. But anyway, I'm just letting you know that I did just checked it 2 days ago to see what was happening, because I know he said it's a week, just to see what exotic island it was on. And it just comes up, tracking number not recognised. Global Greg, greeting from the States, mate. Hello, mate. How you doing? What is the word from the van? Are you with your parents or are you in the van with your dog? Couldn't remember what the dog's name was. The plaster finger, great, thanks. Glad to hear it. Seamus Doherty. Hi, is that your house? Yes, it is my house, yes. Adam Fente. Hey, everyone. Hey, Simon. Hello, Adam. How the hell are you? How is life in District 1? How is the house? I don't know if I've got this right or not. I know you said you're staying in District 1. Are you, the place you're staying in now, that's not the long term. You're house hunting, are you? Jim Pendergrass, hi all. Everything good here in the UK? Well, thanks for joining us, Jim. What's the word on the street in Richmond? Dun, dun, dun. So we have Jim, we have Adam, we have Seamus, we have Global Greg. I'm just going to call you Greg. Global Greg's a hell of a mouthful. Said the, don't know why, it's 2 G's, I think. And I'm going to call the plastered finger Billy, because I know him. Global Greg, here are my parents till after Thanksgiving this week. Should be back on the road with Tarzan. That's it, Tarzan. A week or so after that. Oh yeah, it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah. I had a message from a friend. Well, happy Thanksgiving to any of our American brothers. Seamus Durhey, I'm just back from Thailand. The Nana Plaza is gone crazily expensive. I haven't been to Nana Plaza in years, so I would not be able to confirm. I'm sure you're right. When we went back a few months back, I noticed that prices everywhere had creeped up. Not surprising though. I mean, it had been a long time since I've been there. Prices go up everywhere. But I keep seeing thumbnails on YouTube saying Thailand tourism has collapsed and prices have gone through the roof and all that. I never watch them because I never know if it's just bullshit or not. But there you go. It's a shame it has got so expensive. Adam Fente, I'm doing all right, but I'm just finishing up a cold I've had for the past 4 days. I picked it up in Vietnam and not Cambodia. How can you know that? How can you know that? What was the incubation period? What cold have you got? My bet would be on that bus, mate. You never know what you're going to catch on a bus like that, close together. And maybe you got it in Vietnam, I don't know. I'm no expert. But I always get sick on planes. Not on the planes, you know, about a week afterwards. If it's a long distance flight, I invariably get a cold or something after a flight. All that aircon. Plaster finger, when you ask what's the word on the street, I always want to say araf, slow in Welsh. I know araf is slow in Welsh. But how do you know that? How do you know that? Yeah, I think you said a rat before and I've not cottoned onto it. I know because my parents live in Wales, a place called Llanelli. And you know yourself, you've been to Wales, all the signs are in Welsh and English. So I know a RAF because there's lots of a RAF. RAF slow signs all around the roads. Global Greg, don't forget to hit that like button, fellas. There you go. We've got a Jack Star in the house. I mean, not a Jack Star, the Jack Star, but we've got Greg covering for Jack. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. And it's worked. We are up to 6. Jim has had a good day yesterday. Nora's birthday. Went for a nice meal with our daughter. Her birthday, 23rd. Well, happy birthday. Many happy returns to Nora from myself and Ellen. Are you going to sing happy birthday for Nora, Ellen?
Happy birthday, Nora.
I'm amazed by that. I wasn't expecting a response. Adam Fenway, it was death here in Vietnam. All those tourists and lots of people with a light cough. Oh dear. Does that mean we've got that to look forward to in December? I almost asked how old is Nora, but you don't say that about a woman, do you? That would be very, very rude. So, Greg, is your intention still edging towards coming over here, mate? And what will you do for Thanksgiving? I've got the Thursday quiz tomorrow at Sideways, and I suspect, I'm starting to get the inclination that there will be a lack of Americans. Didn't affect them last year, but I've got a friend, he might be watching. I think he's talked a number of them into going to bloody the Fin Bar for a Thanksgiving dinner, so it might be light. And it's annoying because I had a good quiz for tomorrow. I might save the questions till next week. Well, then I might just say stuff it if they don't want to come. I'll do the good quiz tomorrow. But Jim Pendergast, a nice one, Ellen. There you go. Yeah. The voice of an angel, the face of a... Oh, God. Yeah. Now she's threatening me with physical violence. I can't read that out. I can't read that out. Really? She doesn't look a day over. I was going to make a joke if you can't do that with me now. But she's looking very young for it. 67 years young. Adam Fente, thankfully, I finished my hunt for a place to stay in the end. Airbnb was the best route for me. I am comfortable in D1 room through New Year's. Okay. So that means you're staying there more than a month, or you're going to, you booked it for a month just to get you through New Year. Well, I guess you know, because that's more than a month away, isn't it? So you're staying there, okay. Plaza Finger, born and brought up in Swansea, friends with most of the Twin Town guys. Really? Used to drink in Tenby and Uplands Hotel, although spent the last 35 working. Yeah, I think, oh God, I've got a terrible memory. I think you've told me that before, mate. I think you've mentioned that. I do apologise if you told me that before, because it started to ring a bell. I'm starting to get the old deja vu when I read that. Same as Dahi. Where's the best place in Philippines to meet girls? My house. I've got no idea, mate. No idea. As I've said many times on the channel, I have only lived in a few places, or 2 places really, Siquijor and here. So I can't talk with any authority about anywhere outside of Dumaguete or Siquijor. But the Philippines in general, it depends. It's easy to meet women here. I mean, it's very easy. It's like Thailand. So anywhere is good, I would have thought, to be honest with you. Depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for pay to play, I guess it must be Angeles City or certain parts of Cebu and certain parts of Manila. If it's just regular women you want to meet and date and do all those fun things, I'd say anywhere. I suppose the quieter places you go, the less touristy beaten tracks, you'll be more of a celebrity. You might have that rock and roll star status. But I honestly don't know, Seamus. I don't think you have problems anywhere, mate. Global Greg, yeah, I think I'm going to get things in order to get over there in the spring. Well, where you go. Welcome on board. A few people I've interviewed are coming back now. I don't know if any of you remember, there was a guy called James Cook. I interviewed him a while back. He's interviewed well. He was the Scottish guy who had done well in computing. He's coming back at the end of the month. He's moving over. He's making a big leap. And he's going to be house sitting for us when we're away. He's going to look after the dogs, which is a weight off. So there we go. And I don't know if you remember, many at the start of the channel, I interviewed a Scottish guy called Keith. Very strong accent from Edinburgh. He's messaged me. He's living in in Saigon now, Ho Chi Minh City district. I don't know what district he's living in, but anyway, I'm going to meet up with him over Christmas to have a beer, and hopefully I'll be able to give him an update on the benefits of Vietnam, why he's chosen Vietnam over the Philippines. Global Greg, Thanksgiving will be turkey and all the trimmings at my sister's house with her family, plus American football, of course. Yes, and I'm sure it'll be very cheap Thanksgiving this Christmas, won't it? Because I've seen the Walmart list. Trump has shrunk the bill. You're going to have the cheapest Thanksgiving Christmas you're ever going to have, Greg. So enjoy that. Kiddish, greetings from cold Leicester. 2 here, mate. -2 in Leicester. Good God, that is that Leicester. In my experience, Leicester is not a good place where it's cold, because let's just say there are a number of people there who struggle to drive in winter. I remember the first winter I was there was a bit of snow and ice on what do you call that bloody road? What do you call the end of mile when you go over the St Mark's flyover? What's that road called? But anyway, it was chaos over there. I was going to Syston to see a friend, and I've never seen anything like it. Oh, what is the Golden Mile? What's the name of that bloody road? Help me, kiddies. It's been a long time since I lived in Leicester. Jim Pendergast, big day here in the UK budget. Is it today, the budget? There you go. Expect great things. Seamus Dahi, I've done my research and Cebu seems the best place for genuine and working girls. I'd be very dubious of that research, mate. Personally, I think that's a load of nonsense. I don't think it'd be bad in Cebu, shall we say. When I was there, I meant it before, I've only been there once, like we went for a few days. I was getting a lot more smiles there. There was a lot more attention. But I have heard a lot of people who have told me, don't quote me if I'm right or not, there are a lot more gold diggers in Cebu. I'm always dubious when you get so much attention. What I liked about Dumaguete back in my single days was women do not throw themselves at you here. But it's easy to meet them. 9 times out of 10, if you see a girl and even if she doesn't show interest straight off the bat, if you go over and say, can I buy you a drink, can I join you? They will always say yes. I don't like it when you're getting smiles and things on people, because I always think there's an ulterior motive. But that's just me. But yeah, I'm sure you'll do fine in Cebu. But it's one of those places like a Marmite for meeting women. Back in the days when I used to watch the vlogs. See, I know no more than you. No more than you. In terms of, it's just research I did. But a lot of people seem to say it was the most dangerous place to go in terms of getting screwed by gold diggers. And others said it was the best to go to, because they've all got jobs in call centres and things. But I don't know. If you wanted to go out, and do Dumaguete and meet a different girl every day, you could do it easily. I know some people who do. My next door neighbour used to, and he so it's easy anywhere here, mate. To be honest with you, I would imagine. Adam Fente, this year flew by for me. I had a New Year in Cambodia. Spent 2 months in Thailand, then went to the PH for 2 months, spent 6 months in Cambodia, and now going to finish the year in Vietnam. Crazy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Vietnam, New Year in Vietnam. I think that will be a fun, I'm hoping it's going to be fun, because one thing I don't like about the Philippines, based on my 2 so far, is Christmas and New Year. Christmas and New Year is awful in Dumaguete. It was awful in Cebu. Mind you, I never spent New Year in Cebu, did I? Christmas was awful in Cebu. Used to be brilliant in Thailand, New Year. I'm hoping Vietnam will be good in the New Year. Belgrave Road, that's it, Belgrave Road, yep. Thanks, Kiddish. I don't know why I forget that. I don't know why I forgot that. Yeah, I should have known that. It's a space centre. The space centre's on Belgrave Road, isn't it? Or just off Belgrave Road. I didn't realise that went all the way round, but there we go. No, that's Abbey Lane, isn't it? That's Abbey Lane. I'm all over the place. Plaza Finger, budget just as you finish. Expat crap. Most people have seen 1% of the Philippines. There are 150 cities. I live in Cebu and it's changed for the worse. Girls not as responsive as they were 5 years ago. Also, Mango Bar scene is dead. Yeah, well, there you go. There is a man who knows. Expat Crap lives in Cebu. I must admit, I was very disappointed with, they call it Mango Square, don't they? Yeah, we went there. A friend of ours, I've spoken about it before on the channel, my mate Ray who lives there, wanted to take us out down there. And we only went to a couple of bars, but it wasn't for me. Couldn't work out how these people made such a big fuss about it. Whether we went on a bad night or whether, as you say, it was better in past years. But it certainly wouldn't have been a reason for me to move there, because some people said, oh, you'll like the nightlife in Cebu, it's better than Dumaguete. But the little I saw of it, I wasn't that impressed. I'm not saying Dumaguete is fantastic. I'm just saying, you know, sometimes when you go to a place that's got, you would expect when you went somewhere which had a famous reputation for its nightlife, you would be blown away. I wasn't. We went to that place, the Howling Dogs, is it called? Didn't like that at all. And then afterwards we went to a couple of later bars, I can't remember what they were called, but I wasn't impressed with them either. Expat Crap, also quality of street girls for hire and bar girls is poor now, not good value. Is there a big red light district there then? Scott Green, hey Simon from Scott, New Zealand. How are you, Scott? What's the word on the street? How are things? Thank you for joining. How's your arm wrestling career going? So we have, who have we not got tonight? We haven't got Jack. We haven't got Glenn. There we go. We'll see. Maybe people will come. I'm glad you have come, though. I was getting a bit pissed off with YouTube this week. Some arguments with people, and arguments with a couple of expats over here. I was very close to knocking it all on the head a few days ago. And I thought, I can't, because I enjoy doing the chats with you chaps. And a few people have said they want to see my videos from Thailand, from Vietnam. So I will persist. But I must admit, yeah, this little chat has renewed my faith in YouTube. Same as Dahi. Seen a few videos of the nightlife in Angel City. Seems a bit run down. Yeah, again, never been there, but I've always heard it is... I used to know a lot of people, or met a lot of people, when I lived in Jomtien, Pattaya. Particularly Australians for some reason. They would come and do a couple of weeks in Angeles and then come to Pattaya or do Pattaya, then go, and they'd go between the two. And they always said it was, there was something they liked about it. You know, it was a bit rough and ready. I don't know what, anyway, they enjoyed it. But they reckon it was nothing compared to Pattaya in terms of the infrastructure and the size and all the rest of it. It was pretty basic, pretty primitive. I got the impression it was kind of like what Pattaya would have been like 20, 30 years ago. But never been, so can't talk about it with any authority. Scott Green, good Simon, summer now, hooray. Oh, it's summer in New Zealand, is it? How hot will it get there? I suppose it depends what island you're on. Plaster Finger, I hear Angeles has some interesting nightlife, but not really my scene. Well, I keep hearing mixed things about Angeles City. Because some people say it's just a red light district. Other people said you should try it, you'd like to live there because there's a lot more to it than just the red light district. That's only a small part of it, and then the other part's great and you can do all this and do all that. And I just sit there and I think, you might be right, but I'm happy where I am. And I've heard the same about Pattaya. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it's not just people who live in the red light district that want to live in Pattaya. You know, there's so much more to do there, etc., etc. I don't believe that for a second. There might be a tiny percentage, but realistically, if red light fun is not your game, you're not going to want to live in Pattaya. There's much better places. Now, as I say, I may be doing Angeles a disservice, but who knows? But yeah, that's just my view on it, rightly or wrongly. Jim Pendergast, yes, looking forward to your trip to Vietnam. Yeah, I'm going to keep logging in. I will keep logging. I'll do it. But there were just times like this last week. You get some right a-holes in the comments, and you just think, and you end up getting annoyed by them. And you think, what is the point? Why persist? I've reached the 2-year mark on the channel, and you guys know my 2-year rule. You give everything 2 years. So yeah. And I went out the other night and I met an a-hole. and I just thought I'm done with all this. But no, now I've done the chat tonight, and now I will persist. I think I was just in a low ebb. Hi everyone, I hope you're all good. Hit the like all together. Did I hear that right? I know where am I going? Wait a minute, I've got all confused here. Hey, it's Jackstar. Hi everybody, I hope you're all good. Hit the like, share the love. There you are, Jack is here. Welcome on board, Jack. Thank you very much for joining us, brother. It's nice that you were able to make the party. How's things in, how's your back, and how are things in Gloucestershire? Adam Fenty, you're thinking of sunsetting YouTube altogether. Did I hear that right? I was. I had a right. I had after the last cost of living video, I got the right hump. I deleted a couple of comments, a-holes, and I just sat there and yeah. But yeah, the channel ain't been doing that great recently. But I've had second thoughts now. I don't like to quit on things. And as I said to Ellen, I said I think I'm done with this. And I thought, no, I like doing the chats, you know, I like, you know, the live chats. I like, you know, yeah. I think you have ups and downs and anything, don't you? But as I say, you chaps have renewed my, because it's nice. I was genuinely thinking about it, but I like the fact I can go to Vietnam and I'm going to meet Keith and hopefully meet you, Adam. I've made a lot of friends through the channel. And as I said, you know, when we go, James is going to house sit for us now. I met him through the channel. You know, I made a lot of friends through the channel. And I consider all you guys to be friends. So no, yeah, I will keep it going. It's just there are times when you get wound up and you just think, I don't need this. And the trouble was, I went out the other night and I got in an argument with a guy, and he put me in a bad mood, and it was making me reappraise my thoughts on the Philippines. And then I got some a-holes in the messages and that, and I was just down for a couple of days. We all have down moments, but no, I'm not going to knock it on the head. You've renewed my faith. Not for the moment, anyway. Now I've got behind in the... Plaster Finger, Evening Jackstar, Adam Fenty, Jackstar, Scott Geen, Me North Island, temperature 18 to 27 degrees. Plaster Fingers, haters gonna hate, mate. Jackstar, oh, thank you very much, Jackstar. Thank you very much, brother. You didn't need to do that. Always appreciate it, but honestly, you don't need to do it. But thank you, Jack. That will go in the Jack. When are you coming, Jack? Have you made any progress on your dates? Oh, Andrew G, $10. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you, Andrew. Again, as with Jackstar, you didn't have to do that. Thank you very much. So very much appreciated, brother. Very generous of the pair of you. That will go in the Thanksgiving pot. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Jack. Thanks, Andrew. Scott Geen, show Vietnam, Simon. Yeah, I will, mate. I will. I will. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I am going to vlog it. It's like, you know, it's the cost of living. What annoyed me about the cost of living videos is you had a couple of, it's just, you know, I do the cost of living videos, and I only give the cost of what it was to be for me that month. Never have I said that's all I can afford to do. Never have I said that is what it will cost you to live here. You know, because some people are interested, I just give our cost for that month. You know, it's what it cost me. And you just get always the same stuff. You'll get people in the comments, it's impossible to live on this and that. And you just think, well, it's not, because I am. And then you'll get others, you're just a broke bum. We don't want people like you in the Philippines. If you're just surviving. And you just sit there and think, what are you talking about? I'm doing, it's, you know, they don't seem to grasp, it's just me. We went out for dinner 3 times last week. You know, there aren't that many expensive restaurants. It's not that easy to spend, you know, the kind of money. It's a lot of money. It's not that I'm economising. It's not that I'm broke. You know, and you just look at these people. You're not listening to what I'm saying. And there was a couple went off on this thing. You must have $3,000. One was $2,000. You know, and don't listen to this guy. And you just sit there thinking, oh God, never did I say it would cost you £2,000 a month to live here. I just said what my living costs were for that month. You know, so stuff like that on top of what happened the night before. You just think I can do without this. You know what I mean? I don't think I'll ever do a cost of living video again. Adam, what a week for crypto. Mind the times. Yes, guys, I saw that. My cart goes out to you. I actually read a couple of articles on that. But on the plus side, the forecast seemed to be it's going to jump straight up again. Well, last time I read, it was 2% more than, it was still 2% on the year, wasn't it? But it has dropped from the 30% rise in March or something. Either way, I know it had a hell of a lot knocked off it, but it was still 2% for the year. And the forecasts were it would be back in 3 months. I don't know, just saying what I read. I have been showing an interest. Jim Pendergast, Burgos Street in Manila is a big red light area, but no longer interested. No longer interested? Jim, you dirty dog. Were you ever interested? I'm surprised, mate. I thought you were a clean living man of God. Expat crap. How come whenever I talk to a foreigner about bar girls or massages or red light areas, they speak of it as if it's a single decision or that's what you now know do daily? Buggles my mind. Let me read that again. How come whenever I talk to a foreigner about bar girls or massages or red light areas, they speak of it as if it's a single decision or that's what you now do daily? Buggles my mind. I don't know, mate. I don't know if you're talking about me, you're talking about people in general. Yeah. See, I honestly, I've said it before when I live in Pattaya, I really don't care what anyone does. You know, I don't judge people on anything. You know, some people want to go to you know, red light and pay for it or do whatever, fine. If they don't, they don't. But there are a lot of people who are like, who've got moral judgments on it. And I've always found the people who are most moral about it are probably the ones most likely to do it. You know what I mean? It's, yeah, because I invited a few friends when I was living in Thailand to come over there. Like, oh, I'm not going there because of that and that. I said, what are you talking about? No one's going to put your arm behind your back and make you do it. And that's not the whole of Thailand anyway. So, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I imagine there's places you can go everywhere in the Philippines, to be honest with you. Jim Pendergast, hi Jack Star, hope all is well with you. I've got behind on these chats. Expat crap. It's a small part of the bigger picture. Yeah. No, it is. If you're talking about what I was saying about Pattaya, what I was getting at was, I didn't stay in Pattaya long because the red light district wasn't my thing. Nothing against it. I've got a lot of friends that work down there and all that kind of stuff. It's just there was too much drama for me. It was always a crisis and this. And yet the point with the trouble with Pattaya is you couldn't trust anyone. Everyone was after something because that's the nature of the game. It's what it is. So I was happy when I moved away from there. And if that's not your game, I don't know why you would want to live there, because there are better places with better beaches. To me, if you're not going to play, if you're not primarily there for the red light district, I can name you 10, 15 places I would rather live. If you are there for that, then Pattaya, I would suggest, is the place to be. You know, that is the best one. You know, Angeles City may have other parts to it. As I say, I've had a lot of people in Pattaya who say there's a lot more to Pattaya than I think, but I did spend quite a bit of time there. I don't think there really is. But, you know, it's... Anyway, I don't know. I've labelled the point. Seamus Dahi. Phnom Penh and Siem Reap have a great nightlife. To be honest with you, coming back to Cebu, that Mango Square, is that a red light? Is that supposed to be a red light district then? Because I know there's bars there, girly bars, whatever, but we only went to a couple. I didn't know there were streetwalkers and all that kind of thing. You're talking about the street girls and that. Is that throughout the whole of Cebu, or is that just in Mango Square? Because Mango Square didn't have the feel of a red light district when we were there. But we only went to a couple of places. Because, I mean, usually when you go to a red light district like Pattaya or, I don't know, can't think of anyone else top of my head, you can feel it straight away. You know where you are. I never got that vibe in Mango Square. Because everywhere's so bloody spread out, isn't it? You know, it's not like, you know, you're walking down Walking Street or something like that. I suppose Angeles City must have that vibe more. Seamus Dahi, Phnom Penh and Siem Reap have great nightlife. Yeah, I found with Siem Reap, as someone I spent a lot of time in Siem Reap, Pub Street is good for a while, but it kind of wears thin. You know, it's probably got a bit bigger since I was there, but I found out after a couple of weeks of Pub Street, you're kind of done with it. One of the nicer things about Pattaya is if you live there, you very rarely go down Morgan Street. But the point is there were lots of other places you could go. Don't have to go down there. You go Soi Buakhao. You know, you can stay in Jomtien. There's lots of places where you've got Tree Town and all that now, isn't there? So there were a lot of options. With Siem Reap, as far as I can remember, I say it might all have changed. I haven't been there for, I'm probably haven't been there for 7 years, 8 years. There wasn't much outside of Pub Street. There were a few nice little bars and that, but again, they're spread out. Not an expert on Phnom Penh. Adam Fenter, yeah, Jackstar, I literally haven't bothered opening my portfolio. Business chats. Can you hear me now? There we go. Right. I do apologise for that, fellas. Someone give me a signal that you can hear me, please. Okay. Oh, Wendy, thank you very much. Right now, I don't know. Where did I get to? I don't know what I read. I do apologise if I've missed anybody's chat there. I was talking away. I don't know what I was talking about. That battery shouldn't have died so quickly. Okay, well, you didn't miss much. I was commiserating with your losses on the old Bitcoin. I was saying I think it's going to come back up again. You cut off reading my portfolio comment. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I was asking, what is it now? Is it in the 80s then? Is it? And I was saying, I was thinking when I read that, maybe now is the time for me to get onto Bitcoin, because I've always thought the best time to invest is when they're low. But I've never done that. You know, I took the view, I just put money in when I put it in. Don't worry about whether it's might, just put it in regularly and it does what it does. And some people say it's a good idea. Some people say you should wait until things are low, but whatever. But I spent the last few years thinking Bitcoin was going to crash and it was all going to go tits up. But now I think it's here to stay, and I think you boys will be all right. I think I've missed that boat, and it will just keep going up. But I don't know shit, to be honest with you. Scott Gein, don't listen to Wanker. Okay. Oh, you're talking about the yeah. No, I hear you, mate. Yeah, no, you're right. Can't be bothered with them. But no, I appreciate the support, Scott. Andrew G tried to get him before Jackstar. It's not a race, mate, but well done. Thank you. You can't beat Jack. He's super fast on the old super chats, but really appreciate that, Andrew. It's not a race, mate, but thank you very much. Jackstar. Back's a lot better, to be honest. I'm in Ware and it's cold and frosty. How cold is it, Jack? Kiddish said it's -2 in Leicester. Is it that cold in Where? Jackstar Adam, I hear you, brother. Hang in there. Jackstar. And another super chat, Jack. Thank you very much, mate. Don't do any more. You don't need to do that. Honestly, you don't need to do that. Thank you very much. Thank you to both you and Andy. It's very kind of you. As people have said on the live on the last cost of living, I'm a broke bum who can't afford who can only afford to survive in the Philippines. So that super chat is going to allow me to eat for the next couple of days and survive. So thank you, chaps. You've kept this bum going. Adam Fenner, I don't know why haters hate, but it's best not to give them the mental bandwidth. They are losers who have made their bed in life, but haven't made peace with lying in it. Oh no, mate. Yeah, you know, you're right. No, you're right. No, I see that. I get that, and you're dead right. I just get annoyed with myself when I do buy it because I try not to, and then afterwards I just feel bad about it. And I say it came on the top of it the other night when I were out, and yeah, I still haven't got over that. I had an altercation with someone around the corner, and it still winds me up now. And I say then we did the video the next day, and on top of that, it was a collection of things that were making me angry. And I thought, you don't need things in life to make you angry. You came here to avoid stress, so don't let yourself get stressed. But you're right. I'm not going to let them win. You know, fucking fuck them. The way I look at it. Jackstar, good. Don't okay. Good. Don't knock it on the head. Love this community, and a pint would love to share with all. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Honest to God, I'm not just saying it. You guys have renewed it. You know, it's yeah, it is. I am just going to start deleting arseholes, and I'm just going to start, hiding the channel, because you can press a button that hides people. Because I was stupid when I first started. I've always been very lucky with trolls. I don't get many compared to a lot of channels. And I don't like to censor people. It's like when I did Mark Thornton, a lot of people were abusive, so I cut them all. I thought it's not my right to, censor free speech and all that. But now I take the view, no, screw them. What, they're not entitled to free speech. So what? It's my bloody video. You know, if I want to talk to people I want to talk to, I'm not going to give these like arseholes oxygen if they're just going to be pricks. Sod them. Let them write what they like. Hopefully they'll take a long time to write it, and I'll be blissfully happy when I just press the delete button, because all that work will have disappeared into the ether and no one will ever have seen it. And I'll get my satisfaction from that. Plastered finger, cost of living as a resident isn't being a tourist. If you want to go to a disco every night, you'll spend more. Me, I try to keep it down to 800 a month. Yeah, see, yeah, exactly. See, at the end of the day, you keep it down to whatever you want to keep it down to, mate. But that's the point I'm trying to get to people. I'm not trying to keep it down. You know, my living costs are what my living costs are. And I just do it, and I don't pretend to have loads of money. I don't pretend to be, I just, they are what they are. So it's just so irritating, because it'd be so easy. Like one of these guys reckon he had $6,000 a month, a week he spent, and he was on this and that, and I was full of shit, and I was just surviving. I'm a broke bum. And you sit, and I made a mistake with clients. I don't believe you really spend $6,000 a week, because if you had that kind of money, you wouldn't be fucking trolling on here. You wouldn't be an arsehole. You'd be, and if you are, then you've still got issues. And then he was like, oh, I've got this and that. You think, I'm thinking, why am I arguing with this person? And these other guys who were like, fucking, I wish, I don't know how this guy does it. I've got a 3,000 budget. He's denying himself this and he can't do that. And who wants to live like that? And you just sit and you think, you've missed the point. You've missed the point. There's only so much. Oh God, it's just, it's like I always say in the videos, it is not a budget video. We don't have a budget. It's just our cost of living. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, sometimes it's this. Some people are interested. If you're not interested, don't watch it. Good God. Anyway, I'm going to move on from that now. But yeah, if you've got a view of £800 a month, if that's what you want to stick to, Bill, and it works for you, I'm surprised you're sticking to that now, mate, because you're a generous chap. You're doing all that, charity stuff and that, and you sent me that wonderful Marmite. I'm going to let the secret out now. Bill has sent me some Marmite. Billy is the plaster finger, by the way. So that'll be, and that's another reason why I didn't knock the channel on the head. I thought, I can't do that. Billy sent me some Marmite and I've got to make that video. But anyway, stop being a drama queen. I'm not knocking the channel on the head. It was just a thought that went through my head for a couple of days. But yeah, I'd have thought, Billy, yours would be hard than that. Well done, mate. 800's very reasonable. It's, you mean you couldn't? I mean, it's what makes me laugh. I'm going to go back to this cost of living video. I could rent a place in Dumagetti for twice the price and have a swimming pool and live in a gated community. But I don't want to do that because invariably all the places with the gated communities and the nicer places, they're all over in Darwin or they're up in Valencia. They're a long drive. You've got to go in and out. Plus, you are invariably surrounded by expats and it's got a real expat feel to it. And I don't particularly want that. The reason we picked this place is because it's in a good location. It's central. I had to get my passport today, get my visa, pick it up. It took me 8 minutes to get to immigration and get back again. So what I love about this place is the location coupled by the fact it's quiet here. Now the Vooson's gone, it's particularly quiet. That is what made us choose it. But you listen to these people in the channel, we chose it because we're broke and that's the only way you can do it, and who would want to live in that, and who wants to, and you just get annoyed when you know what I mean? It's like, it's I would never, everyone I know who's living in the really nice places, they're right out in the sticks. I mean, that is the reality of Dumagetti. If you move into the city, you're going to have noise. It's a trade-off. It's, nothing to do with budgets. It's to do with, what you want. Anyway, I've said my piece. Keep coming back to it, don't I? Adam Fanny, thanks, Jack Star. I'm praying we all have a Merry Crypto Christmas. A Merry Crypto Christmas. Scott Geen, Simon, do you think 10 million baht and pension, 35,000 baht a month is enough to live in Thailand? Yeah, of course it is. Well, it depends what you want to do. I mean, if you want to buy, if you want to build a 15 million baht house, then no, it's not. Trying to work out what 35,000 baht is now. The point is, mate, there is no set rule what it costs to live in Thailand. When I lived in Pattaya or Jomtien, my budget there was about, I keep using that bloody budget word again. I was spending about £1,500, £1,600 a month. That's what it was costing me when I was living in Jomtien. But I wasn't doing the bar girl thing. I say, not making a moral judgment there. Just obviously, if you're going to partake of a few women a week and you're going to pay for it, that's going to bump your costs up. But that wasn't me. I was primarily just drinking and socialising and eating. So I didn't have those extra costs. And it was costing me about £1,500 a month, £1,600 a month. When I was living up in Phetchabun, it was around the £800 mark. It was half the price. And again, it was one of those situations. People keep saying to me when I talk about my cost of living in Phetchabun, you can't live like that unless you're denying yourself things. I wasn't denying myself anything. There wasn't that much to spend your money on there. The most expensive restaurant in town would cost you, I don't know, 1,000 baht for a meal for two. The street food, pad kapow and that was 40 baht, 50 baht. I loved it there. So what I was denying myself was living in a tourist area, but I didn't want to live in a tourist area. So the reality is, to me, I couldn't have spent £1,500 a month in Phetchabun unless God knows what I would have been doing. And to put my costs up here, I'd have to start scuba diving a few times a week and all that kind of stuff, which I don't want to do. You know what I mean? So all this stuff like you're limiting yourself, you're not. I mean, I can't, you know what I mean? You would have to be, to increase my costs a lot here to get to the 2,000 mark they're talking about, I reckon I would have to go out every day for breakfast in a Western restaurant, probably have coffee a couple of times a day in a Starbucks or something like that. Go scuba diving, boat trips. I don't know. I would struggle to get them up to the 2,000 mark, and I don't want to. You know, I've been out for coffee, I think twice since I've been in Dumagetti. I'm not a coffee guy. I am an afternoon or an evening meet for a beer kind of guy. Don't like going to town unless I've got something to buy. So, you know, it's just nonsense. So in answer to your question, Scott, I'm sure that would be enough. If as long as you're not going to build something, or I don't know what your plans are. It depends where you live, mate. I keep coming, my maths isn't working today. So 10 million would be Bart would be around a 200 grand mark. Well, that would cover it pounds. That would cover you for your yeah. I mean, your 35,000 Bart. Yeah, that'd be enough. Jackstar, yeah, I was looking at flights, going to fly via Bangkok. Few things to do there. I'm waiting for certain things to settle with the mining, and my daughter seems to have crossed a milestone. Well, that is fantastic that your eldest has crossed that, mate. That really is fantastic. Well done, mate. Very happy that to hear that's the case. Well, that'd be great if you make yourself over, Jack. It really would. It really would be. And I'm not gonna knock the channel on the head. I'm not. But even if I did, still meet people for beers and things. You know, it's I wouldn't like suddenly become a recluse. I might drop down on the content a bit because I am struggling. What I'm saying is I'm not going to take it seriously now. I was setting parameters, so like you got to get a video, putting yourself under pressure. Going to do one every other day, etc., etc. Then you run out of things to talk about. I'm just going to going forward. I'm just going to talk about the things I want to do. Put a little bit more effort into it. If I can't think of something, I won't do a video. Maybe I'll do a couple more live streams a week. Maybe I'll do one on the Saturday mornings, like you know, Rob. Are you still there, Rob? I said hello to you, didn't I, mate? Anyway, I'm all over the place tonight. But great news about your eldest, Jack. Adam, it might be next Christmas, though. Oh, that's for the, we meant next Christmas you're coming. Next Christmas for the crypto Christmas. Craig 975. Long live Speaking of Asia YouTube channel. Simon, definitely keep it going. Thank you, Craig. That is very kind of you, mate. I really, you're getting me all emotional now, you guys. Thank you very much. You're a shot in the arm. You give me a shot in the arm. Jackstar, Scott, you might struggle, pal. That's not enough. Is it not enough? What's 35,000? I can't work out what 35,000 baht is in pounds. That is enough, isn't it? Scott Geen, thank you, Jackstar, for your advice. Simon Kalowski, at what age did you retire and how did you fund it? I remember you speaking of having a rental in the UK. Was that enough? Thanks. Well, I haven't really retired. I mean, when you say retire, I don't get my pensions. I could access them when I'm 55. Well, I've got more than one. I've got a property portfolio, shall we say. I'm not going to go into how many houses I've got, but it's not just the one. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. The money I make from the properties is more than I spend. So while I'm here, I'm basically saving money. So it's not been a crisis. I mean, obviously that would change if I had ill health or whatever, but no, yeah. But I stopped at 40 was when I knocked it on the head. But to be honest with you, I hadn't really been doing much the year before that. I'd just been traveling. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, what would that be? I'm in my 14th year of not having full-time employment, should we say? But I'm not officially retired. Expat Crack. It's only in Mango, yes. Streetwalkers closer to the circle side. Yeah, I never didn't see any in Cebu. I must admit, would I know what a streetwalker looks like in the Philippines? Probably not. I mean, realistically, when you're in Pattaya, you know what the freelancers look like. Because a lot of them are on beach roads. And obviously, if you meet a good-looking girl and she shows interest in Pattaya, she is generally a freelancer. But trouble is with Philippines, it's quite usual for women to smile at you and be friendly. So I think until I'd been in Cebu for a little while, I'd probably struggle to recognise who the freelancers were, unless they dress like them. As I mean, no, the old stereotype, you know, with the high heels and the tight dress like during the day. I don't know, mate. Expat. There's also a spot in Lapu-Lapu for street girls, but not well known. Yeah, I've never been there. Adam Fenty, is the audio working for you guys? Mine cut. Oh no, this is this. I thought it had gone again. All right, bloody hell, I'm well behind, aren't I? My audio gone now. Somebody, Lara Fournier, greetings from Trinidad and Tobago, but there's no audio, Simon. Hey Larry, welcome back, mate. How's life going? How's the cooking going? I should have asked you the other day because you're a retired chef, aren't you? Do you still do a lot of cooking over there? For some reason, when anyone think about cooking, and it's Trinidad, I always think of red snapper. Whenever I've seen a documentary or any holiday things and that, everyone seems to be grilling red snapper. Is that a popular dish at your neck of the woods, mate? Fixed. Andrew G, fixed. Adam Fanning, audio is great now. Jim Pendergrass, get Ellen to sort out audio. Yeah. Did you hear that? You broke the audio. Make my dinner, woman. We haven't eaten yet. Running very, very late today. I went into immigration, got me a thing, came back. She'd gone to bed. And she said, come and lie down for a minute. And I lay down. 3 hours later, I woke up scrambling to get ready. It's why I've not shaven. Scott Green, yes, Simon. Can you answer my question? I think we're talking about the question about the money. I think I've done that now, mate. Yeah, okay, the portfolio. I'm good plastered, in a lot better place than previous week. Jack Star 3226. So Jack, with your back, I know it's a chronic condition. It will keep, when it gets bad, is that because you jarred it or something? Or can you just wake up some morning and you're like, feel like a raspberry ripple? Is that just like, is there no rhyme nor reason to it? And are you getting a benefit from the old yoga? When the Solomarius, that's too bad about the crypto. I sold my gold and silver this week, got sick of it not going up and bought a car instead. Now, this is interesting. When I can't pronounce your name, de Saulniers, that French name, you're honestly uninterested. How has your name changed? Have you got two profiles? I hadn't worked that out before. I had a suspicion you were, because you occasionally comment on my videos, but I've got used to you being honestly uninterested. But I can't believe there's two of you who are into gold and silver, and you're both ladies. There you go, honestly uninterested. I'm sorry. Desaulniers? Am I saying that right? Desaulniers? Jim Pendergrass, nice day here, 7 degrees in London. Hey, Larry, a super chat, $10. Hope this helps my favourite bum. You have, thanks, mate. You didn't need to do that, but it will go in the bum fund. Ellen, we can eat tomorrow. We've got some money for food. God, I tell you, because she's got this little pot that she carries around during the day. We hold it out in town, like, for things like that. And the bottom fell out of the pot, and we can't afford another one. We ain't got a pot to piss in. So I promised her I'd get her another cup, but I don't know where I was going to get it from. Now we're going to do that. We're going to use that to buy a cup. Thank you, Larry. And we will be talking of which, we got these kids that come around now and do Christmas carol singing, because that's the thing. And I made a mistake the other day. They was outside singing, and Ellen wasn't here. So I went out and I didn't have any money on them. So I just gave them 100 pesos, which is too much. Not too much, well, too much because I'm a broke bum, just too much. And that's more than most people would give. I mean, it's not a lot. It's like £1.20 or whatever. But my God, within 2 minutes, some of them had come back. And now every night we are inundated with carol singers who just come to our house and sing. So I just send Ellen out, and she's got like some 1 pesos in her thing. And she said, why did you do that? They'll just keep coming. I said, well, it wasn't much. It's only 100 pesos. She said, no, they will. And they have. Every night they're back. But it doesn't really matter, does it? But there you go. Jack Star, just throwing it out there. Was it an American brother you had a quiet word with? Oh, new neighbour, interviewed him yet? No, I tell you what. You're talking about what I was talking about the other night. No, he wasn't American. He was a different nationality, an English-speaking nationality. He wasn't English. But my God, he tested my patience. I was out with a couple of American friends, and they asked me to put a song on in this bar. around the corner. And I didn't want to put it on. It was Leonard Cohen. And they asked me to put it on. And I said, why? Because I said, I like Leonard Cohen. So I put it on. And this guy's sitting at the bar. And I thought he was interested to start off with. And he starts like, what's this? It's 70s music, blah, blah, blah. And then he just went into one for about 5 minutes about how, you know, this is, who wants to listen to this shit, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, all right, it's finished now. Put something else on. Like, now, I'm always a nice guy, but he pushed me to breaking point. And he was mouthing off for about 5 minutes. And in the end, I said, right, listen, if you put it this way, I called him out on his bluster and made a move towards him after about 5 minutes of trying to calm it down. And of course, then he didn't want to know. And then it got calmed down. And I felt a right a-hole because I know a lot of people in there, friends of mine, and I don't like, it's like, no, because I had trouble in the same place a few, and I don't look for trouble, but there must be something on me at the moment that people think maybe I smile too much, that I'm an easy touch, and I've bitten twice now, and I've just taken a view I'm not going to go there anymore, which is a shame because I like a few people in there. But yeah, and he started again. I tell you, I've never come that. Yeah, I had to be restrained, shall we say? But and it was one of those. But I said to him, I said, right, let's do it. I said, if you really want it, I'm not. I made a threat towards him and went towards him. He's like, no, calm down, calm down. And then he's straight again. A couple of minutes later, he's mouthing off again. By the time I'm sitting at the bar thinking, trying to calm down. And then bloody the way that it works over there, people keep buying me drinks. I have a drink on me, calm down. It's the last thing I want to do. And I'm stuck there with these bloody tokens because you get a free beer with a token. And I'm just sitting there and was like, just forget it. I couldn't forget it. And then when I got home, I'm like thinking, why did he do that? Why did he push me into that? Because you feel like an idiot then. And then the next day I did that video, the cost of living, and then those comments and that, and I thought, I've had it with this place, I've had it with it. Why do people think they can talk to me like that? Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm moving on from there. It was from New Zealand, actually. Scott Geen, thank you for your advice. Scott Geen, good show, Simon. Well done. Larry Fournier, I'm still cooking, albeit privately, and yes, red snapper and kingfish are my favourite. So you still do a little bit of work on the side for, high rollers, I would imagine. Kingfish, I will have to Google that afterwards. I know what a red snapper looks like, but I don't know what a kingfish looks like. Maybe it's got a different name in the UK. Heard of kingfish? I think I've heard of kingfish. I have to Google that. Wendy, yes, 2 profiles, and yes, French. Well, there you go. I'm not just a pretty face. Scott Geen, Jim, back treatment, yoga, lied flat on your back. Jim, back treatment, yoga, lied flat on your back, and put your legs on the top chair for about 20 minutes. It's stretching your back muscles. Jackstar, Scotty, I was joking, buddy. That sort of money, you would be fine. Buy a bike after a few months. Don't invest in a bar or anything. Yeah, that money would be fine. Scott, that's okay. Jackstar, good fun. Paul, you jinxed me, Simon. As a neighbour, just moved in. 12 fighting roosters a couple of weeks ago. Ha ha. Maybe one's from your neighbours. I'm sorry to hear that, Paul. Has that happened? Yeah. Wow. What do you mean you're going out? You're going out?
Yeah,
if you want to go out, you need to put a written request in, and I will consider it. And then I will reply within 20 minutes. You can't just go out. Good Lord. I'll have to take your tag off. Where are you going to go? I said, she's going to go out now and she'll make me feel guilty. I should take her on a scooter here. It's not that far. But we need onions, apparently. We went out on shopping on 2 days ago. I said, get onions and garlic. When we stopped at the shop, she said, no, I don't like the look of it. Won't last long. I said, but we'll run out. Just get some, and we'll get some more next time we go out. Didn't do it, and now we don't have onions. There you go. You talk till you're blue in the face. You can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink. Paul, I'm sorry about that, mate. Very sorry about that. And you don't live in a subdivision, do you? It's extraordinary. I say I'm not counting my chickens yet, but they'd be good as gold. Like they've never heard a sound since. It's as quiet as it is. Not sure if they're unhappy with me. Not sure if they think it's me that dobbed them in. I'm still not sure I did. You know, I've had some yes, I had arseholes with that in the comments as well, saying you're just a grass and a real man wouldn't do that and a real man this and a real man that. And I'm just thinking, God, first of all, because I said, well, so what's your point? A real man wouldn't be trolling, I don't think, and a real man wouldn't be. He said you should go out there and you should talk to them like a real man. Trouble with you English people is you're not masculine and you're scared of doing it. And I'm thinking, not masculine. You're the one who's fucking hiding behind your keyboard, you know, casting aspersions on my masculinity. That's not really a manly thing to do, is it? Yeah, and a lot of people like that, you know, oh, you know, you can't change the Philippines, you can't do that. And then they're going on about how masculine they are. Seems to me all they're doing is bending over and taking it. You know, you can't upset people, you can't do this, watch your back. Anyway, to cut long story short, these people the neighbours have driven past a few times, and I have it in my mind they're not happy. They've given me looks, I think, but that just might be in my mind. I just sit there, smile like the village idiot, but I don't know if they're pissed off. I don't know if it was, as I said before, I don't know if it was my neighbour that where other people complained. What happened? All I know is my landlord said to me, I'd woke up one day and they'd gone, and I spoke to my landlord about a different matter, and I said, "There's no roosters here anymore. They've gone." And he said, "Yeah, the landlord wasn't happy. Told him to get rid of them." So again, I don't know if that even was because of me. You know, either way, they've gone. But I'm sorry that has happened to you, Paul. That is unfortunate, mate. They might go. 12. Mind you, strange. Same number. 12 here, 12 there. It is the chaos effect. Jim Pendergrass, Ellen gone out for vodka Red Bull. Probably, mate. She says she's going out for, I don't know where she's going, actually. She never walks anywhere. I am surprised. There is a little sari shop about 150 metres up there. But I don't know if they sell onions and garlic and stuff. You've really got to walk up to the main drag, which is about 250 metres, which would be nothing to you or I or anyone else in the chat. But to Ellen, my God, it's war and peace. She'll message me sometimes now and say, like, you know, I'm coming back on a trike. Can you pick me up on the main road? And I'm like, no. If it was raining, I would. But I said to the other day, like, you're 29 years old, for God's sake. You don't go out in the daylight. You know, you see, you won't walk 200 metres. You're going to live to be 50, you carry on like this. You need to get a bit of exercise. Anyway, there you go. Although tonight I feel a bit bad because it is night time. But anyway, she's gone now. What can I do? Talking to my friends. So Galahad is still alive and well. The chat has dried up. "20 people and only 12 likes. What can we do? If I juggle something, will people like me more? Because it's all about the likes. Oh, here we go. Paul, okay, just one of those things as they appeared overnight. Fussy things make noise at every bump in the night, and now got birds tapping at the window. So no sleeping in anymore as I'm in Valencia 2 years." That's unfortunate. I mean, I am, you know, but the reality is that is the Philippines, mate, innit? And you know that only as well as I do. It was like that in our last place. But as I said many times, they weren't a problem in the sense that the only time I ever really heard them when I was in the house was there were a couple of times when we had brownouts and you'd wake up and you'd think it wouldn't be the heat that woke you up. It would be the bloody noise. The noise of these roosters and goats and all this shit. And you think, where did that come from? Because when you got the aircon on, well, not mainly the fans, we didn't use the aircon much. When you got the fans on, you don't hear it. You know, so it was never really a problem. I only became aware of it when I started doing the YouTube videos. But, you know, most places you live in the Philippines, you would expect it. But what annoyed me was this place, because the fundamental reason why we moved here was because it was so quiet. So that's what annoyed me, that we had moved to a place which had a long reputation for being quiet. It was the motivation for moving here was the quietness. And I had assurances it would be quiet from the people I'd spoken to who had lived in this area before. And it went overnight. And that's what I found disappointing. Anywhere else we've lived before, I would expect it. I mean, we never had roosters when we were living in Sibilan, but my God, we had music and karaoke, which was worse. You know, it's we started watching Giri Haji the other day, which is a BBC program. Ellen's getting into that now. and it's London, and you hear sirens all the time. You know, in London there's different noises, so they've never really bothered me, the roosters, until here, because as I say, since I've been in the Philippines, I've learned to appreciate or value tranquility. You're back already, my lovely. Where did you?
The corner?
They sell them there.
Actually, they don't. No, they're out of stock. But she called me again to just get their own.
Did she charge you?
Of course.
Oh. Well, wasn't that nice? There you go. They don't. Well, they don't sell them in. They don't sell them there. She went and asked them, "Do they sell onions and garlic?" They said no. So she said, "Okay, carried on walking." And the woman said, "But I'll sell you some anyway," and gave them out of her personal stash. That's the Philippines for you. They have a can-do attitude. It's right. Where do we go now then? Scott Geen 3062. Good night, Simon. Good show. Well done, and good night, Jack Star. Good night, Scott. Best of luck. Be lucky, whatever you're doing. Art Park Garden 884. Oh, it's my British guy. What's happening, Governor? All is well, mate. How are things with you? What's the word on the street? Am I your British guy? Am I? Adam Fente, just getting ready to order some food on Grab. Beef noodles and duck breast salad and mixed greens. Trying to keep it healthy tonight. Adam, what is it with you and Grab? You seem to order a lot of takeaways. That must be the American inside you. Very rarely we order takeaways here. I'm not really a takeaway guy. I would rather go into town and eat something. Obviously, you don't. I mean, is that just the way you've always been? You know, you can take the guy out of America, you can't take America out of the guy, or where you're living. I mean, you're in District 1, aren't you? Isn't there lots of places? I suppose if you don't want to get dressed up or whatever, then staying in's an easy option. But I'm done with Grab over here. The last couple of times we've ordered stuff, it has taken, like, you know, they say it's going to take 45 minutes, then there's an hour, then the order's still... We cancelled the last two. I thought, sod this, I'm not waiting. You know, I think it was an hour and a half the last time we ordered something. It would have been if we carried on waiting. Grab is not good. I mean, I suppose it was raining, but Grab is not good in Dumaguete. And the food is often cold. I'd much rather... That's why we like living where we're living, because we're in the city. Art Park Garden, did I hear you're heading out of town soon? Heading out of town, we're going to Vietnam for Christmas. If that's what you're talking about, mate. We're not moving, happy where we are here. But yeah, we are going to Vietnam. I imagine you're talking about our up and coming holiday. We're going to Vietnam for Christmas and the New Year. With friends. Oh, Adam's gone. Anyway, be lucky, Adam. I was about to ask Adam about if he'd seen anywhere doing Christmas dinner in District 1. But it doesn't matter now. We're not doing that. We're all going on a dinner cruise on Christmas Day. What's that? No, because Adam's just gone. Adam, if you're still there, Ellen is asking, have you seen Christmas decorations already? He's gone, Ellen. Can you close that door, please? Thank you, sweetie. If he comes back, I will ask him. I will tell you his answer. Well, I like chatting, guys. I don't mind chatting for longer, but everyone seems to have dried up on the old... there's no one talking to me. It's gone... the chat has ceased. Oh, here we go. Jackstar, sorry, guys, I'm 10 minutes behind. Oh, now it's suddenly split up. What the hell happened there? I had no chat, and now I'm suddenly inundated. I'm 10 minutes behind. Okay, what's that mean? Art Garden, did I miss the lovely Ellen segment of the live? Or is she hiding as usual? She's cooking, mate. She is cooking. She's cooking our dinner. We overslept. We had an afternoon lay down, a cuddle and a nap. And we overslept, so we're running behind and everything. So she's busy doing womanly things in the kitchen. I'm confused by Jack being 10 minutes behind. Does that mean you've got to go, Jack? Or does that mean you're 10 minutes behind the chat? Larry Fournier, enjoy your Vietnam visit. I'm thinking about visiting Southeast Asia mid next year. Have you spent much time in Southeast Asia, Larry? I suggest that you do If you haven't, give it a go. If you have, where have you been and what's your favourite? Adam Fente, my generation, you are still here, Adam. My generation is mobile app generation. Food on Grab is minimum 20% cheaper than ordering the same food from the restaurant itself. Tonight, I'm favouring 50% compared to the rest meal investor. Are you serious? It is the opposite in Dumagetti, the absolute opposite. Ordering from Grab is 50% more expensive than going to the restaurants. Because I couldn't work out. I think I spoke about it in the channel before. I've got a good friend, Ewan, who runs Sideways, the owner there. I've interviewed him for the channel, and he went on Grab and Food Panda, and they charge whoever's receiving the delivery, but the restaurant has to give Food Panda or Grab 30% of the bill. So all the restaurants here put their bills up. So if, like, you know, you go to any of the ones in town, they'll have a restaurant bill. But when you look on Grab, the restaurant bill has increased by 30%. Even McDonald's and that is more expensive to order on Grab. You know, you think some of them would hold their price, but they don't. So you've got the fact that you know you're paying 30% more for the meal than if you're actually there. You know you're paying delivery on top of that. You know it could take up to an hour and a half to come. And you know it's often cold. So I don't use it anymore. It's like, you know, it's yeah, awful. Amazed it's cheaper there. It's like, yeah, but here, I don't know if it's just in Dumagetti, but yeah, 30%. Because I could never understand how, I thought I was imagining it. There was a noodle place in town. Can't remember what it was called, Mr. Something. We ordered noodles from there one night, and I was eating them, and I said to them, they put their price up. So this was, I'm sure, because we'd had the same dish a couple of weeks before in the restaurant. And I thought, they put their prices up. I said, I'm sure this costs a lot more than it did last when we went there the other week. But it didn't matter, didn't think about it. Then we went there the following week and ate again, and I looked at the menu then, and I thought, wait a minute, prices have gone down again. Then I looked on Grab and saw they were like, you know, 50% more on Grab, and I'm thinking, that's a bit cheeky they've done that. You know, they obviously think people will pay that for the convenience of the takeaway. And I say a week later, I was talking to Ewan, because he'd gone and he explained to me the 30% thing. He said, you know, I'm not making any money on Grab. I'm going to come off it because they take 30% of the thing. And I said, oh, no, it makes sense. You've got to put your bill up 30%. He said, oh, no one will order for me if I put it up 30%. So I think he stopped doing it now. But yeah, outrageous, really. I mean, they must be coining it in Grab. Adam Fenter, yeah, decorations are starting to go up this week. I'm starting to see the Christmas lights and sleigh bells in the cafes, restaurants and shops. Yes, the Christmas decorations are up. Kiddish, doing 3 weeks in Pattaya and then popping over to Cebu and finishing in AC. How does Cebu nightlife compare to Pattaya? Well, if he's still there, Expat Crap could tell you that. What's AC? Finishing in AC. Oh, Angeles City, I'm guessing that is. From what I saw of it, very little. Only went out Mango Square one night. It was rank. Really didn't rate it at all. But there's must be more to it than meets the eye. But I am no expert on nightlife in Cebu. But it didn't come anywhere close to Pattaya, the little I saw. I fear you might be disappointed, mate. Art Park Barden, where will you stay in Vietnam? We are staying, I can't remember the name of the hotel, but we're in District 1. I think it's called Bua Vian Street. We are bang on that. There's 7 of us going. We're all staying in different hotels, but I wanted to stay in one which was bang on the street. So yeah, can't remember what it's called now. Got very good reviews though. I'm quite excited about this place. Looking forward to the trip, but yeah, that's where we are. District 1, bang on. I think it's called Bua Vian Street, their party street, their walking street equivalent. Although I don't think I don't know if it's got, like, you know, a red light part or not. I just know that is supposed to be the street where all the action is in Ho Chi Minh City. Thank you. We're up to 17 likes now. Really appreciate that. People might remember the last time I did a live, I was complaining how YouTube's taken my likes away. Funnily enough, it didn't do it for that video. So I thought, I think YouTube must be mislistening, because the other day I did a video. It would have been the cost of living one. I had 36 likes. And then I said to Ellen, if I refresh the page now, let's see if my like is doing it in my likes again. I refreshed it, I had 29. So it's strange, isn't it, when I say about it and I talk about it on a live, it doesn't happen. So I get all conspiracy theory now. When I don't talk about it, it does. Because I don't get that. I can understand people not watching the video. I find it hard to believe that people have started watching the videos, smacking the like button, and then retracting it. Because you think, why would you hit the like before you? And if you didn't like it so much that you took the like off, why not hit the thumbs down? You know, it's very strange. But there you go. It is what it is. Jim Pendergast, any news from Glenn? Did message him, but no reply. Yeah, I've well, he replied last videos. Yeah, he's I told him, I messaged him and said, look, I've spoken about him on the live. I said, I said your health wasn't great, but I didn't go into details because I didn't want to betray any confidences. And he said he was fine with that. Yeah, you know, I'm saying to him, I don't really want to go into what's wrong with him because I don't think it's really my place to say, if you know what I mean. But I have had a bit of contact with him. I'll message him tonight actually and see how he's doing on. But you know, yeah, I wouldn't read too much into the fact he didn't reply. I think he's got a lot on his mind. He's trying to keep himself busy, if you know what I mean. But as I say, I can't give you an update because, as I say, I don't feel comfortable talking about someone else's health condition. And I've not really had an update. You know, I mean, I just, I polite ask how you're getting on. You know, thoughts of you and all that, and he's like very appreciative, but he hasn't, I haven't had an in-depth chat about his situation. But yeah, maybe he'll message you, mate. Adam Fente, that's crazy that it's more expensive. I didn't even have that issue when I was in Cebu City. Maybe the Dumaguete market isn't efficient for Grab and Foodpanda. I don't know, mate. Blew my mind. I had no idea. I think that they do in the UK. What's it called? Just Eat or whatever. They add charge a fee to the restaurants, but most of the restaurants swallow it. I think I've never, like when I was living back in the UK, you order the takeaway, an Indian or a Chinese or something. I was never really a Just Eat person. This is back in the old days. Most of the places would charge, I don't know, £1.50 or something to deliver in a 2-mile radius or whatever. But the menu was the same. You know what I mean? Didn't put the prices up or whatever. But yeah, it's a kin joke. I mean, they are making a lot of money. And the place is full of Grabs. They're all over the place. And the strange thing is here as well, you can't get a Grab. They've got the Grab app, but there are no Grab drivers in Dumaguete. But you've got lots of Grab trikes, which have got Grab written on them. But they'll never come pick you up, but the Grab won't say it's not functioning here. I mean, I haven't tried in over a couple of years, but everyone will tell you the same thing. You can unload the app, you can say you want to go from here to here, and it will say searching for a driver, and they never find one. And then you'll go down the boulevard and you'll have 4 or 5 Grab trikes just sitting there. Don't know what they're waiting for. Pick people up or whatever, maybe, deliver food, but they're not interested in, so it's strange. Very strange. Larry Funio, no, I haven't visited yet. Just the different islands in the Caribbean. I'm looking forward to visiting the tropics on the other side of the world. Yeah. Well, you should do, Larry. I'm sure I should actually go over to your neck of the woods at some stage. Maybe in the future. Ellen and I'm thinking our next holiday we might go somewhere in Asia. She's got her heart set on I think Morocco. I think we're talking about Morocco or Tunisia. But time will tell. Safe journey, mate. Safe journey. Enjoy it. Look forward to it. Definitely go to Thailand, mate. Thailand. Can't tell you where. Maybe I'll be saying in a month's time when we're in Vietnam, I'll be saying Vietnam, go there. It's fantastic. But at the moment, if I was going to come to Southeast Asia, Thailand would be the number one on my list. You might like Malaysia. You might like Indonesia. I've never been to Indonesia. Been to Malaysia. Cambodia's okay, but if you're going to come this neck of the woods, you might like the Philippines. But Thailand would definitely be my number one. So if you're going to come over, you've got to go at least go to Thailand. Would you agree in the comments, chaps? This drinking live. Hi, man. Love the channel. What's your thoughts on Manila? I thought it was dodgy. Seen muggings and was scammed a few times. Tuk-tuks in bars, women Please say all the Philippines is not like that. Well, I'm glad you love the channel, mate. Again, I'm no expert. I can't really tell you. I mean, if those things happen to you, then obviously it happens in Manila. When I first read that, I thought you meant you'd seen it on YouTube. I said, well, don't listen to that. You know, I've seen loads of places in the world where they say you're going to get scammed, you're going to get mugged, and I never ever had a problem anywhere. So I take it with a pinch of salt. However, that has actually happened to you. So, yeah, I've only ever spent one night in Manila, so I can't tell you, mate. I stayed one night in transit, and apart from getting something to eat, I never left the hotel. I arrived about 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had a connecting flight to Dumaguete in the morning. We are having a couple of nights in Manila before we go to Vietnam. Because it's a long hand stop over on the flights. We're spending one night in Manila on the way there, one night on the way back. Is the rest of the Philippines like that? I don't think so. My best bet would be no. I've only been to, and I lived in Dumaguete and Siquijor. They're certainly not like that. Certainly not like that. You know, I'm not. You honestly don't have to worry in either of those places. I don't think Cebu's like that. I imagine the whole of Manila can't be like that. It must be certain places, but no. There must be some expats who live in Manila and like it. Of course there will. I don't know those expats. I've got a good mate, Frank, who's working in Manila, but everyone else that I know in Dumaguete who've been in the Philippines for a long term, as in live in Dumaguete or live in Siquijor, they have no time for Manila at all. Wouldn't live there if you paid them. So that's all I can tell you about Manila. They don't like it. But as I say, there are probably some people who live there who don't like Dumaguete. So, I mean, you know, it's whatever you're looking for, brother. But no, the rest of the Philippines isn't like... If Manila's like that, you don't have to worry about that everywhere in the Philippines. But bear in mind, I've not been everywhere in the Philippines. Expat crap. If you want a good laugh, watch Irish Times last video. The guy hung up on Bar Girl. You will enjoy it. Yeah, I used to watch Irish Times. I've stopped watching. I know Peter. Pete, he interviewed me 3 times for his channel. He said he'd do an interview for my channel. And I contacted him and he said he had things on his mind. I've never chased it up. I'm not going to chase it up. I don't chase things up. But kind of a bit pissed off that he didn't get back to me because he said he would. Because, I mean, I did 3 interviews for him. But I stopped watching his channel. But I do like... There's a guy called Steve Rossi with an E. And I see he recently did an interview. And I like Steve's channel. I find him interesting. Is that the one you're talking about? You're not talking about the grey American guy with the glasses? Because I know he had a thing with a bar girl. I think he's quite streetwise. A bit strange. That's why I like him. Find him funny. This drink's life. Bouvienne Street is the street in Saigon. It's a class place to party and drink. Yeah, that's where we're staying, mate. That's where we're staying. We are staying in a little... The street's like that. It's got a little cul-de-sac or whatever you call it. Like, just goes up and comes around. We're at the end of that cul-de-sac. We are literally a stone throw away from Bouvienne Street. And I'm looking forward to that. I say the hotel, we've got amazing reviews. It's a new place. Only been open 2 years. It gets 4.9 on Google. And I've never read reviews like it. Everyone says it's fantastic. And 3-4 people have complained about the noise. And they said that the noise, it can be noisy till 2 or 3 in the morning because there's a nightclub downstairs or next to it or whatever. But the hotel was so good, the noise would not put them off. They would stay again, which I thought, I've never read a review like that before. I've never read someone say it's noisy, but they'd stay anyway. So I'm getting high hopes for the place. As I said to Ellen, you know, noisy till 2, 3, and we won't be in the room at 2, 3 in the morning. I mean, we're very unlikely I'll be going to bed 4, 5, 6. So noise doesn't bother me at all. So yeah, looking forward to it. Adam Fonte, yeah, I'm now a couple of minutes away from Bouvienne. I will sleep well this month, LOL. However, I love walking on the street, both during the day and especially at night. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It looks good. It looks like it's kicking, which is what we like. The Plaza Finger, glad you mentioned Glenn, wishing him well. Yeah, I did say there was a lot. I'll message him either tonight or in a couple of days, see how he's getting on. And I'll tell him everyone's sending his regards. I mean, he might watch this. Plaza Finger. Tunisia is great. Went on the Star Wars hotel and the set they used for Tatooine. Is that one of the, I don't know what it is. Is that one of the follow-on TV series, or is that for the original movie? Yeah, well, Ellen, where did she want to go? Oh, I tell you what it was. Ellen wanted to go to Kazakhstan or somewhere like that. And she showed me this YouTube video, Facebook video, and said, take me there. I want to go there. We should have our next holiday there. And I was like, I'm not going to Kazakhstan. Or was it Azerbaijan? I can't remember. It was one of those countries. I said, you'll see these things because you've seen this beautiful, like, what do you call them? Souk, like a market, and these things have already seen there drinking coffee and all that. I said, these places do not have a tourist industry. You'll get a beautiful place like that, but it'll be like 600 miles from somewhere else. You know, it's not the kind, you don't want to go somewhere like that. You will get the odd bit of beauty. You will get the odd nice beach. You will get the odd, thing, but there's not a lot of them. You know, if you want to do something like that and you want to see those things, we are far better going to Egypt, the Sharm el Sheikh, or, Tunisia or Morocco, because you'll get those things there, but you actually got a tourist infrastructure there. You won't have to spend a day traveling from here to there to see something you get bored within an hour. There is no way I'm going to Kazakhstan, or I can't think of Azerbaijan or any of those, those places. Not a chance, not on a holiday. It'd be like going to Mongolia. Yeah, they've got some interesting things there, but most of the cities are full of burning tyres and all that, no. But now she's taken that as we are definitely going and keeps showing me pictures of Morocco and Tunisia. And, I'm like, look, let's just get Vietnam out of the way. We haven't even been. She's on the next holiday in her mind. Still, there you go. Expat crap. The Grab drivers even tell you to cancel your ride when they have better offers or want to eat, which really messes you up. Never tip a Grab driver in Cebu. They are earning more than actual managers. It's strange because I am not of the Grab or the Bolt, persuasion. They weren't things when I was out partying. So I am very new to them. But a couple of friends of me told me when we went to Cebu that you had to use Grab. So we used Grab for the first day or so, but I'd go down to reception and I'd order the Grab and be waiting for it in reception. But they had a Major D on the hotel door, who flop traffic and things. And he'd say to you, where are you going, sir? And I'd say, yes, I'll get you a taxi. And I hadn't ordered the Grab one day. And then I stopped using Grab after that because he literally just went down and the guy, would stand out on the road and flag it down the taxi. So after the second day or halfway through the second day, we started using taxis. And they were cheaper and easier. There was no waiting for the Grab to come because invariably, I think we used the Grab one of the nights when we went over to that aqua park because there were huge queues. It was really busy. But I just found Grab a right pain in the arse because you've got to wait for them to get there. Then you've got to meet them at a point, and sometimes they're in a different point to where you're waiting and all the rest of it. And they're no cheaper than the taxis. I mean, there must be times when they're useful. They were useful that night because you couldn't flag down any taxis. They're all full up. So I saw a McDonald's and I ordered them and I said, we'll meet you in our McDonald's. And he was there in 5 minutes. So there is a place for them. But I couldn't see why people were getting so excited about them as if Grab's this great thing. Having said that, when we went to Thailand, didn't use Grab there, used Bolt. They were terrific. I mean, Bolt was fantastic over there. It was really convenient. You'd finish Soi Buat Ao. You'd order a cab when you were leaving and they'd be there within 1 minute. I mean, after one of them times I actually ordered a taxi, said where my thing was, and the guy flashed his lights. He was already waiting across the road. Obviously waiting for a customer. So yeah, Bolt were fantastic. My experience of Bolt in Thailand were A1. My experiences of Grab in Dumaguete have been bloody dreadful. My experiences of Grab in Cebu were so-so. I had a little look at Vietnam the other day to see what app you got to have. And apparently Bolt is not a thing there. Grab is the only one to use, really. There's a couple of Chinese apps, but I don't have those. But we'll see how Grab are in Vietnam. Give them a second go, second chance. Adam Fente, totally agree with Simon. Thailand is East meets West. Great soft landing for Western person. Experience Asia for the first time. Yeah, that's the way I see it, Adam. And Paul, I think smart thing is to keep some go to comfort food. So I make up spicy hamburger to eat, and I want to sack then tacos, meat and spaghetti, burritos. So a couple of quick go-to as delivery food sucks. Yeah, it does suck here, mate. What I've started doing with Ellen, I'm going to get Ellen to do. She's made a gorgeous meal the other day. She's invested in some of these like pastes, red curry paste and tom yum paste. And when she was getting them, we got them shopping the other day. She's like filling the trolley up with those. I said, they're no good. Whenever I'd made curries in the UK, I'd always made it from scratch. You know, a bit of garam, salam, turmeric, and I never used. A couple of times I'd use like the cook to go korma sauce and that. Bloody lousy. But she got this red curry paste, and we had a chicken red curry on. I think it was Monday night. It was delicious. It was it was better than some of the curries I've had in Thailand. So I'm sworn on that now. We ordered a load more of these pastes so we can make different dishes. She's looking at the moment, can't find a Penang paste so we can make Penang curry. But I said to her the other day, I said to her yesterday when we were out, the secret is the next time you make one, she said, next time I think I'll only use 2 chicken breasts instead of 3. I'm like, no, because she only used half the paste. Make the whole bloody thing. Get 6 chicken breasts, use the whole pasting and that. We'll cook it, we'll eat it, and then we'll put the rest in Tupperware and we'll put it in the freezer, and then you've got it at hand. Start cooking that way. I had a mate in the UK. He'd do that. He'd cook all his Sunday lunches when his wife left him. He got in his habit. He would, on a Sunday, he would cook, and he'd cook 4 or 5 meals. He'd cook a Sunday lunch, Sunday roast. He'd cook like, pasta and all that. Put it all in his little Tupperware bars, stick it in the freezer, and then every night he'd get out and he'd take them. And I thought it was mad when he told me doing that. I said, well, go out to a restaurant, get takeaway. But you go over there somewhere after have a few drinks, about what do you want to eat? Get out the freezer, pop it in the oven. It was bloody delicious. The way to go. It was a surprisingly good cookie, was Ray. Larry Fournier, Thailand, the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam are on my list. I'll reach out to you when I get to the Philippines. I'm looking to spend at least 3 months over the region. Please do, Larry. It would be fantastic to meet you, mate. If you come down our neck of the woods, it would be fantastic. And if you don't come to Dumaguete and you just want a few tips, I'm no expert, but I'll be happy to help, brother, if I can. X-Crap. It's a new video posted here. Interviews a young guy in love with a bar girl. Okay, I'll watch that. Yeah, Irish Times channel. Yeah, no, he's a good bloke, Peter. Pete, he's yeah. Out Parker, do you really spend $350 use on electricity every month? Thought that was high. $350? No, 3,200 pesos, not $350. Can't work out what that is in dollars, but no, our electricity bills less than $60 a month. What is it to the 55 to the? Yeah, no, our electricity bill is less than £40, £50. What would that be? So, yeah, I don't know where you got the $350 a month. No, nowhere near that. Nowhere near $350 a month. That makes me worry. I must have made an error when I was putting the prices on the YouTube video, but no, nowhere near that, mate. Expat crap. If a Grab driver in Cebu has really good run some days, they can clean 7k pesos, which is a lot for a day's work considering managers on a few hundred a day. Well, power to them, mate. I mean, if they can do that, then power to them. Makes you wonder why more people aren't Grab drivers. As long as they turn up and they're polite and they, yeah, well, wow, that is a lot. But presumably they have to give a cut of that to Grab, and they got their fees and things. But yeah, that is good money for the Philippines. I bet there's not many taxi drivers earning that in the Philippines. Jack Star, hit the like, share the love. God bless you, Jack. Thank you very much. And it's worked. We're up to 22 likes. If I get up to 30 before I sign off, I'll be very happy. But that's probably a bit ambitious, but it's always nice to crack the 30 mark. Adam Fante, Kazakhstan, no way. Better to go to Istanbul where there's good tourism. Yeah, 100%. I'm sure those places, I know there's a lot of money invested there, but they don't, until they've got a tourist structure in, a tourism that links things and makes it, might not have been Kazakhstan. It might have been, there's another one, begins with K, isn't it? Anyway, it was one of the old Soviet republics. And you know, anyone can make anywhere look good with, you know, with a bit of editing on a UCut video. And that's all it was. It was like a cafe, and it was like in a very idyllic looking place. And they were sitting there and had like a little meze and some nice, you know, like Turkish style coffee and that. And Ellen, whenever we go away, she always says, "I want to go to a coffee shop." She doesn't even drink coffee, but she has this idea that she wants to have these pastries, and fair play. I said to her, we'll do that in Vietnam. I bet we don't, because she's going to be tired and she won't want to get up a lot of the mornings. But yeah, and then they went there with some beach or some. It might not have been a beach. It might have been a man-made one by a lake or whatever. But it looked very picturesque. But the point is, there were 2 or 3 images on a 30-second video that made the place look amazing. I can guarantee you that's not, the whole of Kazakhstan is not like that. Anyway, we're not going, but yeah, you know, if you want that, go to Istanbul, go to Greece. You know, there's some great mezes in Greece. Never been, I'd be inclined, if we did actually go, I'd be inclined to take her to Sharm el Sheikh, because it's better the devil, you know. And I used to like Sharm, but then again, it's a bit like Pattaya. If you're not partaking in, whenever I went to Sharm, I was always going for the scuba diving. I wouldn't want to scuba dive this time. So if they're not scubaing, is there really that much to do? Probably not. Expat crap. I have friends in Vietnam. They seem to like it there. Well, it'll be interesting. There was a mate, as I say, a guy I interviewed for the channel, Keith, who was checking out Southeast Asia, and he'd been to Thailand and it wasn't for him. Thought it was unlikely the Philippines would be for him. And then he went to the Philippines, to Vietnam, and now he's staying there. He's living in Ho Chi Minh City, and he thinks it's fantastic. So it'll be interesting to, hopefully I'll interview him again. If he doesn't want to interview, I'll just meet him for beer anyway, because he contacted me and said, let's meet up. But it'll be interesting to know what has sold him on Vietnam, because he hadn't been particularly sold on Thailand, and he hadn't been sold on the Philippines. Because he was literally, if I remember right, he was giving it a 4-month or a 5-month recce with the intention of going back to working for a couple more years and then coming back here. He went to Vietnam, fell in love with it. I don't think he's ever left. So it'll be interesting. Expat crap. More people are not Grab drivers because it's full. Everyone wants to apply, but it's full. Okay, well, there you go. That makes sense. Larry Funia, great live, Simon, but I have to start my day. I'm catering at a Thanksgiving dinner for an American client tomorrow. Catch you next time. Well, good luck with your catering, mate. That sounds like a hard job. Happy Thanksgiving, Larry. And thank you so much for the super chat. Very generous of you. Very much appreciated. Thanks, mate. Be lucky. Plaster finger. Cooking. My mother was Dutch and spent most of her teens in Japanese prisoner of war camps. So she was saved by a British soldier who was then stationed in Kashmir after. That is where I learned to cook. You've got an amazing ancestry. A Dutch mother, lived in Wales. You spent a lot of your time in Australia, didn't you? Now you're in the Philippines. You are a bit of a mixed bag, Billy. Like that. The most interesting people are mixed bags. Jack Star, Greek is amazing food. Love it. Yeah, I love Greek food. Yeah, I do. Greek kebabs. Yeah. There was a Turkish restaurant I used to love in London many, many moons ago on the Lea Bridge Road. It was fantastic. But as times got older, as I got older, I'm not sure how much that was actually Turkish and how much of it was Greek, because they seemed to, you know, steal a lot of their dishes. But yeah, last time I was in Greece, it wasn't Greece, it was Cyprus, but you know, it was the Greek part of Cyprus. I went there for a wedding. It's where I met my ex-wife. It was a brilliant holiday. About 60 of us went from West Ham. We all like West Ham fans. We knew each other through the football, and some of us had grown up together and that. And one of the guys got married. Mick got married to his wife, obviously his girlfriend wife. But they'd been together a long time. I mean, they had like kids who were like 6 or 7. So we all went over for that. And it was fantastic. I went for a couple of weeks. I mean, some people only went for a few days, but it was probably the best holiday I've ever had. But there was a little meze place just around the corner from where we were staying. And me and my mate Gary, we went there 2 or 3 times. It was fantastic. It was unlimited wine. And basically unlimited food, but the wine was unlimited. And the guy was funny as fuck there, because the food was great, but it'd always make you drink more. You know, he got me so drunk on the way back. I know, because we had a meze before we got the bus, and like I told him it was going. He said, "We'll see it." He said, "No," and he was just like kept topping the wine up, and I'm saying, "No, I'm done now. I'm done." He's like, "It's unlimited. It's unlimited." I said, "Yeah, no, but I don't." Yeah, And he's a nice Greek guy. He got us smashed out our heads for that trip back. Surprised they let us on the flight. Jackstar, nice one, Larry. Peace out, brother. Yep. I'm echoing Jackstar's sentiments there. All the best, Larry. Seems a nice guy, Larry. That must be very stressful doing that. I can imagine, like, doing well, he's a professional chef, so I suppose he takes it in his stride. But I imagine cooking Thanksgiving for a big group must be, well, if you love your cooking, I suppose it's fun, but I imagine that must be quite stressful. Anna Fente, my last meal in Phnom Penh was a Turkish restaurant on Bassik Lane. Absolutely delicious. I ate too much food during those final 2 weeks in Phnom Penh. I must look up a Greek restaurant. We never went. There was one in Bangkok and it looked really nice. My mate Alex had been there and he'd sent me the address and said go there. But it was the night we were going was the night we partaked of the old hash cakes and got too stoned to go. So we gave that a miss. But I think we're going to have some nice meals in Vietnam. There's a dinner cruise called the Saigon Princess. Gets very good ratings. It's a 5-star menu and all that. It's like, all these little portions and supposed to be really good. We're going there for Christmas Day. And we're having, I think I'm having the 5-course delicate menu. There's different menus. One of the girls is having the seafood special. There's like a fusion menu and that. But anyway, it looks really good food. Looking forward to that. So that should be a nice meal. And my mate's birthday, he wants to go to Gaucho Steakhouse. There's one in Pattaya. We never went, but he went, and he went, it was the best steak he'd ever had. So we're going there for one night. There's a seafood buffet at one of the hotels. I want to try that out. Can't remember which hotel it is. But if we can get a nice Greek meal on top of that, I'll be very happy. Because if we're having 4 good, top drawer meals out, I'll be happy with doing a bit of street food and a bit of, trying the banh or whatever they're called, for the other night. Maybe have one, but yeah, you've reminded me of that. Well done, Adam. I'm going to look for a Greek restaurant, a top drawer Greek restaurant when we're in Phnom Penh. And my mum is Turkish from An Island of Gallipoli land. My dad is Greek, both from different islands. Hello, Anne. I didn't know you were in the live chat. Have you been lurking in the background or have you just arrived? Welcome on board, mate. Never heard of An Island. I've heard of Gallipoli. Expat crap. If I had a time machine, I would go to Thailand and the Philippines in 1972. Why? What happened in 1972? I get going back in the 70s, but 1972 is very Pacific, mate. There must be a reason for that. And I was born in Australia. There you go. Expat Philippines. I'm confused here now. Expat crap. 1982, also good. 1982 and 1972. Have I missed something? What happened on those dates? When did Marco leave power? He was elected in 66. Did something happen in 82? Was that when he was forced out? You'll have to elaborate on why those specific dates. I don't know where I'd go if I had a time machine. I would probably go back to my youth, have a chat with myself, tell me to work harder at school and become a doctor. One of my biggest regrets in life, life's too short for regrets, I should have been a doctor. Anyway, there we go. I imagine if you went back to Thailand to the 1970s, it would be pretty much what it's like here now in the Philippines in 2025. I'm getting hungry now. I don't know what the little woman's doing in the kitchen, but God, yeah. Well, my coffee is nearly run out, and I can't ask Ellen to make me another one because she's busy cooking. So I will end it not quite straight away. I would like you chaps to tell me what you've got planned for the week. Give me some of your news, and then after that, I'll knock it on the head. Oh, wait a minute, I will knock on there quite soon. God, it's caught how time flies when you're having fun. This has been a long live chat, but I've asked a question now. What are you chaps getting up to? What are your plans, Jack? What are your plans, Ant? What are your plans, Adam? What are your plans, X-Crap? What are your plans, Jim, if you're still with us? Plaster finger, should have been a doctor. Is your handwriting that bad? My handwriting's quite neat, actually. Yeah. I don't know why I don't have any regrets, but even if I had a time machine, I would still be the lazy bastard I am now. So, you know, a lot of studying to be a doctor. I mean, 7 years and all the rest of it. But yeah, I'd like to think if I had I would have been a doctor. Expat crap, you should watch the Tyrus Times video and give us some feedback on the guy he interviewed. Will be a fun discussion. Okay, I've got my reading notes. I will do that. I will check out Pete's channel and I will see. Yeah, I'll have a look anyway because I want to see what he hasn't asked me back, Peter, and I wouldn't do another one to be honest with you. So he's probably I was just intrigued when I saw Steve had gone back because Steve must have done about 5 interviews now. But you know what it's like when you give interviews for other channels. You know, most of the people who watch my channel, they seem to like me, otherwise they wouldn't do it. When you know, they wouldn't watch the channel, apart from the odd haters. But the last couple of times I did interviews on his channel, it was majority positive. But you got these people, I wouldn't trust that guy. He's clearly a criminal. He's got no education. He can't speak. Blah blah blah. And you think, what's the fucking point of talking to these people? They're just going to be arseholes. If they don't want to listen to me, I'm happy not to talk. But my God, he must have interviewed Steve at least 5 times now. I've just had an instruction to upgrade my channel, my thingy from Lavino. I never usually get those. Adam Fonte, I need to do some Black Friday shopping just to upgrade some of my gear. Overall, I need to use this month to prep for my plan to move to Da Nang in January. Didn't know you had a plan to move to Da Nang in January. There you go. That's or if you told me, I've forgotten. I got the impression you probably have said that. I thought you were staying in Saigon longer term. Andrew G, looking at boats this week, considering an upgrade. Are you a boating kind of chap? Are you, Andrew? What kind of boat are we talking? Are we talking a sailboat? Are we talking an engine boat, a small boat? What type of boat? Cabin cruiser? Please tell us more. Plastered finger, planting pack one this week. Trying to do more drone stuff, but it's getting time to edit. Yeah, editing can be a bugger, can't it? I think I'm going to buy a new laptop this week. I thought I'll get a laptop. I will be frugal. I will buy a laptop and I will claim my tax back when I leave the country because you can claim your tax back if you leave within 60 days. But what a joke this is. You read on the official site, it says it's only people who have been here for 30 days. So basically you can only claim as a tourist if you've been here for 30 days. But then it says you can claim up to 2 months after the purchase. So you're reading this thinking, well, if you can only stay for 30 days, how can you claim it back at the airport 60 days after? Because then you'll have been here for 2 months, just by definition. Then I started reading a bit more of the small print. You can only buy it from a shop which is approved as a tourist shop. I thought it was just any proper shop here. So you got to look for the symbol in the window. And then the final thing that broke the camel's back is you've got to bring the item with you unopened and unused. So I would have to buy this laptop and then take it to the airport unopened and unused to claim the tax back, which they might not let me claim back anyway because I've been here for approaching 5 months. And I thought, oh, sod that. It's ridiculous. If I buy a laptop, I want to use it. I'm not going to bother now. But when you read stuff like that, you've got to marvel. You think, is this genius on their part in the sense of being able to say, we are now offering tax back, but we make it so difficult that you can't do it? Or is it just stupidity that they haven't realised how the rules basically make it impossible for you to even want to do it? I mean, you buy a laptop, sometimes the boxes are that big. You know, it's all packaging and the polystyrene, and I'm not carrying that to the bloke. What am I going to do? Put it in my suitcase? Not going to fit in my hand luggage just to get to the airport and find out that they're not going to give me back because I've been here too long. And I'm going to carry this brand new purchase to Vietnam, where they'll probably try and charge you tax because it's worth more than, the absolute joke. So anyway, I'm not doing that. Don't get your hopes up about shopping tax-free if you come to the Philippines. Iwabai, Thanksgiving, then Black Friday shopping. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, mate. I think it's the first time you've commented. Enjoy your Black Friday shopping. I'm glad you chaps are reminding me. I'll have to have a little look online, see if there's any Black Friday bargains. I haven't got this black giving thing into my mentality yet. William Hickey, I enjoy your channel, buddy. Well, I'm very glad to hear that, William. Thanks for watching, mate, and appreciate your input. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, I've never said Happy Thanksgiving to someone before, being from the UK. But if you are Thanksgiving people, Happy Thanksgiving to you. Jack Star, working on the farm this week. Muck, peace out, everyone. Oh, did I miss Have You Met Your Neighbour? You throw me on that one, Jack. Oh, did I miss Have You Met Your Neighbour? Oh, no. Oh, the guy. Okay, yeah, the guy. Yeah, very briefly. His name's Sammy. Seems a nice chap, but don't see him. Don't know what he does. He's obviously an active guy because I've seen his scooter outside a couple of times. He'd been here 3 or 4 days, and I hadn't seen him, so I went round, did the neighbourly thing, knocked on the door. We had a chat, introduced myself. I've never seen him since then. He's out and about. Patrick, God, you bumped into each other every day. He'd always be outside doing something. He would have a little chat and that. But yeah, whatever he's doing, he's a newbie here, first time in the Philippines. He's doing active. He's doing things. He's busy. Never see him. As I say, I mean, I work on the basis if his scooter's not parked outside, he's not in, and his scooter is very rarely parked out. I said to Ellen, I've not seen the bike in a couple of days. She said he's probably visiting somewhere, which he probably is. But yeah, seems a nice guy. Seems a nice guy. Don't work too hard, Jack. Don't want to screw your back up, mate. Andrew G, explorer, live abroad. That's confused me. Try and make sense of that. Oh, explorer live board. That's the type of bike. See, I ask a question. I don't have a clue what that means, Andrew, but I will Google that and have a look. Liverpool, so they must be quite big. Interesting. You're an interesting chap, Andrew. Expat crap. I've been to Dumaguete. I haven't been to Dumaguete for 10 years. We'll come across soon. Haven't even looked at the wider boardwalk yet. Well, if you do, look me up, expat crap, assuming you want to have a beer. Yeah, the boardwalk has been widened. I don't think I knew what it was like before it was. When was the boardwalk widened? Ellen can't remember. And she's not going to bother thinking about it. She's too busy watching her live sales on her phone. But yeah, it's not far from you, is it? It amazed me when we went to Cebu how quick the bloody flight was. I mean, literally, you take up and then you're landing. I think it was 18 minutes, the flight on the way there. Ridiculous, really. Adam Fene, are those tax back rules for the Philippines or Thailand? They were the tax back rules for the Philippines. I've never tried to claim the tax back in Thailand, and I will never try and claim the tax back here. Yeah, it's absolutely ludicrous. Expat crap, is the fruit market still the same there? I don't know which fruit market you mean, mate. Which fruit market would you mean? Is there a big fruit market in Dumaguete? An air market. I don't know about, I've never heard of a specific fruit market. I don't know if you mean that one. But I've only been here 2 years, mate. So, you know, if you're going back 10 years, is the fruit market the same as the boulevard changed? I don't know, because I don't know what they were like before the 2-year mark. I have never heard mention of a big fruit market here. You've got the open air market in Dumaguete, which is the big one. You've got the farmers market on Sunday in Valencia. You've got lots of little markets like the Pekong market and that. But the only two I've heard people talk about as being the big ones or the ones people take interest in, it's the farmers market in Valencia and the open air market in Dumaguete. But that doesn't predominantly sell fruit. I mean, it sells a lot of things. It's not that impressive compared to some markets. Jack Star, to all the American brothers and sisters, happy Thanksgiving, have an amazing day and even better food. Yep, I echo that. Plastered finger, unopened. How can that happen here? Everything gets opened and tested. Well, that again, that's what I'm saying to you. It may well be a ploy to make it impossible for you to claim the tax back. You know, they can advertise to get the tourists here, come here, tourist free shopping, but then mission impossible to get your tax back. Because you're right. There have been the only stuff I've bought and tested here is a couple of times they've started to get it out and testing. I say, don't bother. And like I did it when Lee Plaza, I bought a rice cooker a while back, and the guy started like, I said, "Why are you opening it?" He says, "I want to test it for you, sir, prove it's working." I said, "Is it guaranteed?" He said, "Yeah, for 7 days." I said, "Well, don't worry about testing it. I'll take it home, and if there's a problem, I'll bring it back within the next 7 days. Don't worry." And it was fine. Yeah, always take it out, open it, plug it in, as if that's. I don't know why they do that. They say, "No, you can't bring it back because it worked when you left the store." I got no idea, but I've got no time for that. It's just ridiculous time wasting. How are you going to test a rice cooker unless you actually cook rice in it? But anyway, unopened. How and 7281. Your lounge room looks like a sitting in a bar in Pattaya. Yeah, I know. I don't know why he did it that way. It wasn't the guy. I don't think it was the guy I'm renting it off. I think it was the guy before. But yeah, he put the neon no smoking signs in. He fitted the bar. He put the bar thing up. You know, it's one of those things now. The couple of times I've done a live stream and I haven't put the lights on, people have said put the lights on. So I'm a people pleaser. But we don't, trust me, when this is finished, I'll switch those lights off. We don't live like that all the time with the neon on. There are other lights. They've got some, I'm not going to put them on now. But yeah, it is. The guy who lived here obviously liked the idea of having a bar. Castle Finger, before everyone goes, love to all, have a great week. Thanks, Billy. Love to you, mate. Looking forward to the Marmite arriving and doing the video. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how the girls and that react, and the guys. I'm not gonna discriminate, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes down. I really appreciate you for sourcing that for me, mate. Expat crap. Careful getting the small boat from Dumaguete to Cebu. We nearly flipped in a storm. Everyone praying. Yeah, it never occurred to me to get the small boat. We flew. I think if we went again, we'd fly. I don't think we'll go again. A lot of people, I mean, last time Ellen went, she got the bus. But that sounds like it could be a journey from hell. But I don't think I'd get the boat. I don't think that you know, I think I'd fly or get the bus, to be honest with you. Apollo the Sun God. What's the name of the half black, half Filipina girl blogger in Dumaguete? Got no idea. No idea, mate. The only Filipino vlogger I know the name of is the Filipina P. I don't think she's half black. Might be. I know. I think. Was it what's Paul's girlfriend called? Baby Mai. Paul Old Dog New Tricks. Baby May. I know Baby May's got a channel. Paul's got a wife. And I think I don't know, mate, is the answer. I don't really watch vlogs other than people I know. So, sorry, mate. Expat crap. Do they still have Casablanca restaurant? Oh my God, mate. Listen, they do. And we went there for our anniversary dinner, and we will not be going back there again. That was I don't like to talk bad of people, but that was a lousy meal. The only reason we went to Casablanca was because when I first came here, that's why I met Ellen. We met on Tinder, and I took her to class, or we met at Casablanca for like a lunch date. And so we decided we go. And when we went there, she was not impressed with it. I think she had Bicol Express. Can't remember what I had. But I always thought the food was okay at Casablanca, nothing special, but it was a good setting. So we thought we would go there again for our anniversary meal. And we did. And it was god awful. It's gone downhill. It was, she had the, what did you have? Pork schnitzels. And they were, I'm not joking, the pork schnitzels were better than Mr. Sizzler. I mean, they was really bad. The only good thing about her meal was the gravy. I had the blue cheeseburger, which used to be my personal favourite. Tried to order wine, but I went through the list and I ordered 3 bottles in a row. They didn't have them in stock. So in the end, they tried to palm me off on Shiraz. I didn't want the Merlot. So in the end, she had a pina colada cocktail. I had a couple of beers. The burger, I might put it in a vlog. The burger, just the fries were awful. The burger was okay, the blue cheeseburger. But what used to be nice, you got a basket of various condiments. Now you just get a little pot with ketchup and mayonnaise, with ketchup and mustard in it. Fries were awful. Her schnitzels were Yeah, really, the only good thing I could tell you about Casablanca these days is the service. The staff were very friendly, the staff were very helpful, but not go there again unless we went for our anniversary next year, just because it's romantic. But yeah, Casablanca's still there, mate, but it's going downhill fast. Expat crap. Is the Moon Cafe still in business? Yeah, there's 2 Moon Cafes. There's a Moon Cafe in at the end of up at the North Point, and there's one in Robinson's Mole. I much prefer the one at the North Point because it's just better, got better ambience and that. The one in Robinson's, I've only been 2 or 3 times. I never got anything on the menu. I was talking to a friend recently who went there, and so he said, "Have you tried that one?" I said, "Oh, we have." He said, "I quite like it there, but they've never got. They always seem to run out of stuff, so we don't go there very often." Expat crap. When I was there, I'm never going to get finished this right. When I was there before, they were doing cash poker games in the Honeycomb. They're still running them games. Was a friendly little crowd. I can't possibly comment on that because that would be illegal. But there are quite a few places where you can play poker if that is your vice. But I'm obviously not going to name them for a number of reasons, but you'll definitely have to be able to play poker over here. Not sure on the Honeycomb, couldn't comment on that. William Hickey, how's the budget? I think you're joking me there, aren't you? I don't have a budget. Baby May, no, Baby May. I don't think she's mixed race. She's just. I'm just saying. I don't know any Filipino female bloggers over here. I don't watch any of them. I just know that she's got a vlog, but I don't think she's mixed race. I know the Filipino P, and I don't think she's mixed race either. So I can't tell you is the answer to your question, mate. Apollo the Sun God, have the beggars increased in the last 6 months? No, not really. Don't get many beggars. Since we moved, there aren't many beggars. You have not seen any in this part of Bekong. You used to get quite a few in the other part of Bekong we lived, round by the open market there. There used to be a lot outside the 7-Elevens and the Mercury Drug and that there. But I don't know. I've not been back there since. No, I've not noticed an increase in the last 6 months, mate. Why would there be an increase? Has something happened that we should know about? Expat crap. Oh dear. Oh, because the Christmas is coming. I see what you mean. Yeah. No, we've had a few carol singers, as I said earlier on, but no, not beggars. I've not noticed any. Expat crap. Oh dear. I had good memories of Casablanca. Maybe they're cutting costs. Or something's not right there. Disappointing. We went to the what's that place called? We went to the other day with Kayla. Was it Sans Rival? There's a few Sans Rivals. We went up to the Sans Rival up at the Henry, and I was very disappointed. And I said to Ellen, for the price, because it was more expensive than most of the restaurants that we tend to go to. You know, it was a higher end price. This is the most disappointing meal I think I've had in the Philippines. But I will replacing that now. Sans Rival beats Casablanca in terms of a higher end price range restaurant. Just lousy. Very disappointing. Expat crap. Didn't mean to put you under the gun. It's okay. Was more of a fun game, small cash. No, you haven't put me under the gun. It's just obvious reasons. I'm not gonna. Don't want to be accused of getting anyone raided. Plastered Finger, UK Budget live now. I might watch that. Right, we're going to set off now, guys. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone who joined the channel. Thanks, of course, to everyone who was with the generous super chats. Andrew, Larry, and Jack Star. Yeah, I'm going to go now too. Andrew G, got to eat your dinner before it gets cold. See you next time. Yeah, thanks, chaps. Thanks to everyone. I won't go through the names because Adam Fenton, good night, everyone. Take it. I thought you'd gone a long time ago, Adam. I thought you were enjoying your dinner, your order. Anyway, yeah. Say thanks, Jack. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Larry, for the super chats. Thanks to everyone else for joining. You've reignited my desire to YouTube and my faith in YouTube. My God, it's been going on a long time now, isn't it? 2+ hours. Hopefully you enjoyed the chat. Hopefully we'll catch you next week on the next super chat. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe and be lucky.